láyé olúgbọ́n mo ké borùn méje ẹ ò máa kọ yí lórin láyé àrẹ̀sà mo ké borùn mẹ́fà ẹ ò máa kọ yí lórin láyé ìsẹ̀yìn èmi ra kókò mo ra rán mo ra sányán bàbá sọ àfọ̀lẹ́ ló lè pélé.
Hello everyone, my name is Adeyemo Adegbemiga Ganiu and I welcome you to my new Yoruba Abrahamic YouTube video. Today I want to touch on the common subject, the most controversial one in the entire biblical text, which is the beast, or shall I say the beast system to some people. And I shall be using the Yoruba ideology to break it down in details, knowing fully well that the entire Abrahamic text and context only reference the Yoruba traditional way of life. So it all makes sense that I use the same Yoruba ideology to give a better meaning to what common people make of it today. But before we fully dive into it, I will retouch on one of my previous videos topic, which is Satan. So you will understand how the whole thing are connected from the beginning to the end. Satan by definition is actually another derivative Yoruba word from Ashe-Etan or Ase-Etan, resonating to why we now linguistically have the term Satan today in the Bible and Shaitan from the Arabic context. Like I oftenly argue, I'm not here to try to justify whatever I'm doing by just saying this. You need to understand that by now you should know that I give less attention to what the Afrocentric give as a definition of a word than what I believe in what I discover in Africa than what the Afrocentric, because what I discover in Africa is actually an African heritage history. So I hold on more to what I understand from the African lens of view than what you may provide. So it doesn't matter whether you agree to it from the European approach techniques to finding words. I don't do that. So this is my own opinion, by the way, simply because the Abrahamic books as a whole are African history, particularly the Yoruba. So I don't need any foreign validation to tell me what I'm saying about the same African people, whether it's right or not. If you want to go by the Afrocentric view of definition, good luck to you. This is how I do my own. So the Torah itself did basically related to the Yoruba, that the Yoruba people are of true major type, the Oyo people and the Ifa people in terms of linguistic pronunciation of the term S or S. This is why from the Oyo, they oftenly address the term S with C. Why from Ife, it's always she. This is why we have Shibi and Sibi, even though and the both word retain its meaning, spoon, with the same meaning. So it doesn't matter whether you call a Shibi a spoon or you call Sibi a spoon. It's just the differences in terms of the word pronunciation. I hope you understand. This is what led to why we now have Satan and Shaitan. Satan is more aligning with how the Yoruba people from Oyo pronounces Sibi so tijeun so shubu so suoni. Likewise, Shaitan resonated to how the Ife people, Lagos State, Ondo, uses the term she show tijeun show suoni. But they are still referring to the same. This is why Satan and Shaitan has the same meaning, which basically means the deceiver. So they are all Yoruba people's way of understanding their definition directly and indirectly. If you want more about this Satan thing, because I don't want to go back and forth, I've made a lot of video regarding to it in within, so you can check my previous video. But in this very particular topic which I am doing now, I just want to relate with what Satan means, the causes of Satan, how the structure of causes of Satan manifested, those behind it, and much of how people exaggerate it beyond the reality of what it stands for. Bearing in mind, I did say that the idea of Satan, like I continue to say, the term Satan, they are Europeans and Persians by default. This is why I always say I always use the word by default, which indicated that I'm not referring to the entire race. Likewise, in the case of everything related with causes, is all applicable to some majority of them by default, not everyone. Why do I say it's by default? Because it's actually a cultivated habit that has been passed down generationally from one ancestor to another within their own lineage group as a racial people. In a nutshell, Satan means deceivers among human beings, a character-based attitude, an obstructor, some group of people who are real human beings but are naturally unrighteous in nature, antagonizer, adversary, those who despise the truth. They hate to, if heaven say yes, they always want to prove the heaven wrong, that heaven that it must be no. These are the kind of people which they are called Satan. Likewise, why their acts collectively, their unrighteous acts, their indecency acts, their untruthful nature, their deceitful nature, which has become a sort of culture and norm, became what we now refer to as Satanism. If I said you are acting satanic, which you are indirectly saying you are acting like an European like. That is what it basically means. Satanic has nothing to do with invisibility or something whispering. I treated that in the video. These are decoy, just to divert your attention from the real identity of who they are, so that you can continue to accuse non-existing entity, while the real Satan can also further continue to penetrate your life without being accused of what he or she is doing. Is a decoy. Some Abrahamic book in Revelation to also do reference to that Satan actually means people of a lineage of nations, like synagogue of nations. They are people of lineage. They are a group of people. Forget what you watch in Hollywood movie with two on two beds, and there are even reasons for that too. Likewise in the Quran too, in Surah Al-Ma'idah, the Quran too, this basically even separated that it is impossible for you to call an invisible jinn Satan, because Satan are character-based human who are far from righteous, while jinn are spirits entirely from the world. We have no much idea of what is going on there. So in a breakdown, in generality, both books did relate with the ancient people of the Satanic, that they are Europeans and Persians. And these Satans abode in early days were Babylonian, Babylon, better known as Babel, and which is now linguistically interpreted as the land of the chaos, because they are naturally chaotic people. The idea of chaotic being interpretation was derived from their natural way of not being guided. Someone who are lawless, someone who do. This is why you continuously hear the term among the Western modern Babylonian time today that do what I will. Do what I will. Don't be guided by any law, either in heaven or on earth. If you like, do anything abominative, they believe it's your right. So someone who is not guided is naturally bound to act rational. This is where the whole idea of do what I will come from, that they are trying to kick aside everything related to the righteous guide of Almighty, that they are lawless, their lifestyle is way beyond control. Do whatever comes to your mind, regardless of the repercussion. That is where the idea of Babel or Babylonian or the term chaos in breakdown understanding came from. The Bible also made it that these inhabitants, because of their lawless lifestyle, their inability to be on the path of the righteousness. This is why the Bible, the Quran, everything, Abrahamic context basically dub them as either demons or devils. If you even check the word devil itself, the devil itself is not something like two on. If you are watching too much American movie or this Nigerian Nollywood movie or something, or this modern day Christian Islamic thing, you are likely not to get this scope or to make you look strange. These are normal names that people have made so much exaggeration on. When you are talking about devil is actually a misleader, someone who is bound to do something. It has nothing to do really much with non-existing entity like spirit. It's all about the human. So it all makes sense that both Abrahamic book, either dubbed like it in the Bible, it dubbed them that Babylon now became the inhabitant locations of the devils. They are still referencing to the same Babylonian based on their lifetime attributes. While in the Quran, they are known as the Shaitan in Baqarah 2 verse 102, they are demons. Sometimes Shaitan, sometimes devil as well. They are still referring to these same Babylonian satanic people directly. And we know for sure that from where they were before, the Bible further say that their irritating lifestyle initially became why the Almighty locked them up as a place called Casper Sea, known as the Satan prison, the European mountain. And after they gained their freedom, spread to corrupt the parts of the different part of African world, enslave Africa, reclaim pre-owned African continent across the universe, and this is where they now became Caucasian, because their prison ward, their prison cage, the prison bricks were known as Caucasus Mountain. I've made a lengthy video about this very topic. So this is who they are. So I'm not saying this because this is why I say the idea of being dubbed, the idea of European, the Persian being dubbed as Satan or devils by default is not a racial thing. It's more like a majority, vast majority, and it has to do with their inherited lineage culture that was passed down to them. If you are born in a Muslim family, there is 99.9 chances of you being a Muslim as well while growing up. If you are born in a traditional family, there is 99.9 chances of you becoming a chief or holding a priest. So wherever we are born into, the family we are born into is naturally always have a strong impact in our growing, because it's an inherited culture, it's an inherited act. This is why I say majority of this European and co, they inherited it, became part of their lifestyle to go against heaven, to act irrational. So this is what I'm saying. But notwithstanding, there are still some of them who don't fancy unrighteous attitude. So, and if you now check what Babylon was actually entailed of, or why it was actually dubbed as Babylon, the land of the evil dwelling places, where the whole evils of this universe originated from, began to spread like diseases before it now became the whole sickness of the humanity. So this, because the Babylon thing, anytime you hear the idea of Babylon, we all know, it's not I'm the one saying it, we all know that Babylon is a figure, is a representation of evil, prostitution, gambling, land of the witches, land of the demons, land of bad bells, land of everything unthinkable, which the Almighty has completely caused or condemned. That is what Babylon basically represented. So if we now collectively put all these factors together, this is why it's further reasonable to why the Almighty now said people of Babylon, or people who unconsciously found themselves inside Babylon, whether you are racially part of the system, but one way or the other you got liberated, you can't beat the system. You just have to get out of Babylon. It is written in Revelation, get out of Babylon. It's like a disease in Christ. It has become a norm to the people who founded it, to the people dwelling into it. But once heaven has inspired you to realize that this is not LD for my good conscience, the Almighty is saying, get out of Babylon. You can't fight the Babylonian system. And all these things now collectively became what we understood as beast. A beast or a beast system. If you want to, let me break it down so you understand how the whole thing match up and became a beast or a beast system. The god or the utmost god, which the Babylonian commonly pray to, commonly portray as the divine utmost one, is not the real God of the universe. It's not the real Almighty of the universe. It's not Eledumare. It's not something of the African. It's not a God which is not a Lord which the Africans are familiar with. This is why I made a video that the term God is a deceitful title which represents multiple entity and can only be understood by the person saying it. Because God to me as a Yoruba is naturally about Eledumare. God to you as to an Indian is actually about their Hindu, the Kalu, the Kalu demon, the Shiva, all stuff like that. God to the European basically. So the term God is a dicey word So when the Babylonian continuously said, we believe in God, we pray in God, they are actually referring to their own God in their own ideology. They are all about their culture, their Babylonian culture, not the real God which the Africans are worshipping or non-Africans are worshipping. I hope you understand. So this is why the term God to the Babylon is actually Lucifer. The real God of the Babylonian is Lucifer. Why did the Babylonian, the Western, the Persian pray to Lucifer or gave their glory to Lucifer? It's all because Lucifer itself is never a demon. The term Lucifer is a name that was given to the Caucasian ancestor who happens to be the fourth set ruler of the Caucasian race in ancient Babylon that first defied heaven law, hated heaven law, as stand as a reference or symbol of adversary to the nature of heaven, whose name is Nebuchadnezzar or something like that, the second. That is what Paul said. So when they are praying to Lucifer, they've actually elevated their ancestor, which is that king in ancient Babylon. They've elevated the status to be a king and make him a rival to the true Almighty, even though that Lucifer is actually a nickname. And that Nebuchadnezzar is actually a random human being who lost his part in the sight of the heaven. So the European perceive him and make him look like the figure that rival the Almighty, sometimes as an angel of the Almighty, sometimes to be a, what is happening today when each time you talk about Lucifer, and that's as a Satan too. They are his people, they are his descendants. Why they are also Luciferian, the followers of Lucifer. So each time you hear a Luciferian thing, it absolutely have nothing to do with demonic entity, absolutely have nothing to do with invisible entity like jinn, absolutely have nothing to do with all that we continue to see in Nollywood movie. All this one are diversion, they are decoy for you not to understand the real reason behind it. And for sure, we know this doesn't indicate, this is not taking the fact away that these people are also into the use of dark magic, which actually have to do with powerful evil genes. But that aside, we know for sure today now that ancient Babylon was that of the one in today's Persian land. Like I said, Persian land is also known as the land of the horns of the devil, according to Islamic texts. The horns where the devil initially landed, and the two horns of the devil can be referring to the Europeans by default, and also the Persians who are into the Talmud Babylonian guide. That is where so the past Babylonian people inhabitants were the Persian, and the present Babylonian people are the Europeans by default. Then today we know, and this is also why the entire Abrahamic, the entire European Union building as allegiance, you can see it is also, they are also upholding the spirit of their ancestor, their Babylonian ancestral spirit. They are uploading it, telling the humans of the world in a plain sight that the Babylonian is still existing. It is you that don't seem to understand, or they have basically switched the tactics or the new way the Babylonian is existing. In a nutshell, the Europeans of the Persian today are the new Babylonian system, while the olden Babylonian are the one in that of the reference in Abrahamic context. First in Northeast Africa, later and they extended to today's Iranian Babylonian land. But when we are talking about Babylon, is collectively under the Assyrian Persian. This is why the whole Northeast Africa are under the Babylonian terrain, are under the Persian terrain, depending on how you can approach history. So this is the tricky part that so many people don't pay attention to, and I need you to focus. Let's go back to that biblical revelation where it basically said, get out of Babylon. This is a simple question with heavy illustration for those who have deeper light to understand what it means. Why did the Abrahamic text was encouraging people to get out of Babylon? The only reason why it encouraged everyone to get out, once you are in the Babylonian space, there is a 99.9 chances of you losing your soul completely, because the Babylon that we are talking about let's put the modern day Babylonian into a perspective. It is designed, the Babylonian foundation was based on the ideology of their founding fathers, ideology of their unrighteous founding fathers, who basically don't like anything righteous about heaven. It was now what we know as corporation. People know today that the Western world, and particularly America, is a corporation. It's not a country. And when we are talking about corporation, you are basically referring to an institution. Institution has different departments. They are the one who decide what you must do, how you must do it, the way to do it, and if you don't do it, there will be penalty for it. That is what corporation basically is, an institution. And if you check out an institution, they have all the laws. They have all the laws, and the laws are based on something that heaven caused in earlier days. You shall not do this. The Babylonians are people of godlessness. They are unrighteousness. This is why you will see many unrighteous attitudes thriving in their corporation, thriving, such as man to man doing thing, woman to woman doing thing, adult man to little innocent child doing thing. A real human with the same mind doing it with an animal. Pornography, justifying of pornography, commercializing pornography, the act of eating human flesh, and trying to paint it as if it's no big deal, because they will make you feel no, it's because of the medicina that we discover in it. Is a complete abomination. You have all the whole animal. You only decide to choose. These are natural. This is why they are known as the adversary. Natural people who go against the natural order. Very people who go against the natural order, who enjoy in trying to reverse everything of nature and practically cut themselves out of heaven, like Lucifer. How do you cut yourself from heaven and fall down to earth? Stuff like that. They basically decide. So their trend, the trend of existence is in line with what their ancestor Lucifer, Nebuchadnezzar, their ancestor did. This is why they have uplifted that man to the high level of God-like. To them, not to Africans. For the Africans who actually have wisdom. So it is basically a corporation. And this is why it's so structured in ways that people have to sell their soul before they can get anything. People have to go extra mile beyond normal senses. You see celebrities selling their soul for fame. It became land of the witches. I can tell you for free, 99% of those who are living in the corporation are witches and wizards, and they are not even shy about it. They continue to conjure different demonic entity. This is why you continuously see different irrational acts because when evil genes are too much, they will be possessing random people on the street, and over the years people will be giving it different name: alien invasion, the zombie drug, all these things. Nothing of such. These are demonic entities that are possessing real human, because the land has been possessed by different witches who continuously do things. If you go back to the Quran said it that those who partake in this dark magic, they will sell their soul. You will see celebrities selling their soul. This is exactly what the entire Babylonian system is. So what we are experiencing in modern day Babylon institution, better known as corporation, is just a prefix, small of what actually happened in ancient days that actually made the heaven to even condemn them completely. It is a continuation of legacy. This is why the Bible said, "Get out of Babylon." The whole place has been wired. The whole place has been built on an unrighteous foundation. Because just think of yourself, you mean well and you actually live in the Babylon. You actually think you can do anything off the grill. What about the food you are eating? That there are cases of them being found human meat all your life you've been eating fellow human as flesh. They've been recycling human meat. So one way or the other, it is the system. You can't stop one person. This is how the Babylon was designed, which means if you are within the Babylon, there is no way out. So all of this collectively now became what we understand as a beast. As a beast system. A beast system that operates on different level. The beast system references the beast system reference. You can see the verses of the beast system. You can see it in something like Revelation 17:7-18. You can where they said the beast have 7 heads, representing the I don't want to president or whatever within the European Union or whatever. So the beast have said the beast do this. The beast you must collect the mark of the beast. You must be wired. You must be electronically wired. You can't do anything with raw cash. Everything is tied together. You must collect the beast system before you can be able to purchase and stuff like that. It's all about the beast. You can see the same verse too in First Thessalonians 5:11, that the beast has 2 horns, a sort of confederation between European nations and stuff like that. And it's all about the beast system. What does this beast now in Yoruba, the conspiracy surrounding the beast, why people continuously get it wrong? The beast in Yoruba, let me put it in Yoruba. Beast in Yoruba means Ehena. Ehena is what they call beast. Ehena ni eni. And when we are talking about Ehena, it's not until you have to be a lion or Ehena means a wide person. Someone who is wide, out of control. That is what Ehena basically means. And the English name of Ehena is beast. So Ehena, this is why I said the Torah basically come in Yoruba word. And in Yoruba word, if you are not part of the Yoruba language speaking people, a word in Yoruba have about 4 to 10 different meanings, depending on how you understand, depending on how the narrative is going. So Ehena in Yoruba means wideness. People who are wide. If they said Ehena ni àwọn people, these people are wide beasts, or the beast of the field. Let me say the beast of the field. Àwọn Ehena ní orí pápá is more like an idiomatic expression to say that these people are out of control. So the Bible is basically talking about people who are out of control. Ehena, beast. They are not talking about the beast. You see a lion, tiger, that the way people. These are more diversion and decoy. If you don't listen to very careful, the Bible is not for random people who will think naturally. You have to go out of line, out of rules. You have to be more indigenously intelligent to understand what the Bible is saying. Because the Bible we have today has been falsified, has been rationalized, has been more of idiomatic expression. But people continue to look for a direct word for an idiomatic expression. It's like God damn it. Saying God damn it doesn't mean God have damned me. That is more of an idiomatic expression. So now imagine you are looking for the person God has damned, whereas in reality you are just saying, oh, I'm disappointed. That is exactly the foul play. The why people are continuing to chasing shadow in today's Bible. Much of these are idiomatic expression, but people continue to look for direct word, continue to battle, fight for how this word input can be put this on. Whereas those reality of what the Bible is basically saying are far away from what we are doing today. So this is exactly what the beast system is. In a nutshell, in conclusion, the Babylonian system is also the beast system. The beast system is also of cooperation that we see in the modern world. The modern world, the modern Western world is just a continuity of the ancient Babylonian of past and present. And getting out of Babylon basically means to shove yourself out of civilization, to take yourself. If you have a chance, please stay away from the beast system, because there is no way you can beat the beast system. It's all for you to get out of it. And anyone that is now telling you that Lucifer is actually a demon, they consult everything like that Lucifer is this, they are right in their own way, because the idea of beast system now also became what the Europeans are portraying. Not because the beast system is actually a real beast, but actually the beast system connotes or contains so many messages within it. I don't know how to explain it. Let me give you a very good ideology of what the beast system actually means, even though it's not a real beast system. We know of Baphomet, of course. Baphomet is a beast, half human, half beast, and everything of Baphomet indicated ideologies of that beast system going on in the Western and Persian world. That is what, like the curve symbol, the half moon, you know what it means. The crescent, the mosque, you know what it, they are all into it together. They are all under Babylonian beast system. So that is what I mean. But let me give you something you might be familiar with when it comes to the beast system illustration from the reality of what is happening in modern day Babylonian. We know that the common fashion that the people of this world now buy into their way of life, the people basically have no idea where they are promoting the beast system, making people worship the beast system, continue to feed the beast system. And how you feed the beast system will continuously make the beast system to be more powerful. Like in your way of dressing, particularly the women, if you check out the nails, the long nails of the women and the leg and the nail, what do you see of it? It looks like a beast, a white claw beast. This is a fashion they coin around what is happening within the beast system inhabitants. We should check out the lips. The red lips, the blue is more like a blood sucking thing that represent how the beast system continuously was designed to entertain sacrifices, human sacrifices. Cannibalism is still going on to today. Don't let anybody look at how many children are missing per year. Where are they going to? Look at how many children are missing. Look at the people who are found that all their body organs have been taken away. Where are they going to? Look at how they celebrate dark mystics and dark magic with the Almighty call, the curse that people must deal with, because it comes with human affiliating, sacrificing. So they are still doing it. The blood or the lips of that for the human is also indicating to the beast. If you check out the body, the tail, and everything is all about the beast system. They are telling you truth in a plain sight, in hidden plain sight, that the beast is actually an illustration of the system, how the system works, the arms of the system, how it works. Is not about the real human being. So that is exactly what the beast means. The correlation with the Yoruba ideology of Ehena, white people who are white, they are out of control. They've gone out of control, and they continuously conjure different demons. Not that they are the demons, they conjure different demons to help them to fulfill one agenda of the other. Even the entire Western world, there are more accusations that it is being guided by some powerful magic, because it's this system, powerful mighty. The government conjure different magic to suppress these people ideology, to dumb down the people. This is what they does. Likewise, the language itself from the European world, the language is a magical word. Everything evolves around everything that are unrighteous, that are dark, and it is not just starting today. These are cultivated legacy that was passed down from the early Babylon down to today. This is exactly what the beast system in generality means. So make your comment known below. This is where we shall be coming to an end. Press the like button to the case and press the notification bell to the case I upload new videos. My books are available for buying. You can buy it directly or contact me through my email and some any other source for direct inquiries or more teachings or learning. I'll tell you how I'm getting my information. And everyone, help me subscribe, let me press the like, let me share. Let's grow this channel together. Everyone, thank you for bye for now.